those things that come into play, it's easy. And also, during the playoffs, look at my career, I pretty much got more time in the playoffs. And I believe that's when coaches allow me to, I would say, like Isaiah said, to be a magician with the ball and manipulate the game, put people in spots to where I know a guy's going to make a mistake weak side, and I can, put my best shooter there if I want to get him a shot. So it's just, I feel like that's what coaches then allow me to do in the playoffs, is just be me, and they understand at that point, it's like, okay, cool. He wants the same thing I want, is a win. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that matters. So, I think they give me more leeway to manipulate the game and make me, have an impact on the game.
That's what I get out of it. That's what I get out of it when they say playoff Rondo, because I know the difference between me in the regular season and the playoffs. And I know your mind is being one of the, you and Chris Paul, the smartest point guards in the game. I know your mind works different in the playoffs because every game counts, and we know you only got to be the best team in this series for 4 games. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you locked in, and you see different things to get these teams. So I understand when they call you playoff Rondo, because I know your IQ probably goes up 10 times higher in the playoffs.
But being able to work with a lot of great minds this year. You know what I mean? I was a sponge as well. A lot of people always say I'm this. I don't want to be the smartest in the room. You know what I mean? Like, I got to surround myself next to Bron, Frank Vogel, Phil Handy, Jay Kidd, Mike Penberthy. Like, it's just a lot of great minds that. I'm like, give me everything you got. Like, shit, critique me, critique us. Like, what's your mindset? So, in the future, you never know where I want to be down the line as coaching or GM, whatever the case may be. It's like, I want to know, what the greats mindsets are and how they think.
Yeah, that's where you belong.
That for sure. That's iron sharpening iron. But I wanted to touch on, going into a locker room with Bron, seeing that you guys are natural-born leaders, your guys' mindset, the attention to detail, your discipline, your hunger to win. What was it like collabing, obviously with one of the greatest players of all time, from a mental standpoint?
It was a hell of an experience. Like I said, he was very vocal this year in film, as far as helping the young guys understand what they need to be and where we need to be as a team. So I was learning on the fly on the court, just picking his brain, studying him, his body of work, the way he moves. When I go back and watch film, I used to always watch film of myself, and then I watch film of him, AD. You know what I mean? Just understanding where they want the ball, where they're great at. So that's just that's just kind of how my mindset was going into it. Like I said, but to be able to play with him and pick his brain daily and understand his discipline of what he's done to be able to become, so dominant in year 17. It was fun to watch. It was great to be next to and understanding, like, okay, this is elite. I played with so many elite players at a high level. Damn near, I would say more than 15 first ballot Hall of Famers. So to see the best at the best, it was a hell of a ride these last couple of years. Just just watching them.
Basketball is back, and to celebrate its return, DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports, is giving new players a free shot at a $1 million top prize.
If you haven't tried daily fantasy sports, what are you waiting for? Get in the game now and use code SMOKE during sign-up, only with DraftKings.
Playing daily fantasy sports is simple. Just pick your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition.
Every dunk, steal, assist means so much more with DraftKings daily fantasy lineup. And for all you football fans, even though the season is winding down, there's still plenty of action to unfold.
With the season headed toward the playoffs shortly, I'm excited. I love what Josh Allen's been doing for the Bills. DK Metcalf has been a man-child over in Seattle, racking up points often. And one person that I'm not going to sleep on, because heading towards the playoff is when he's always at his best, is Tom Brady. Who are some of the guys you're looking at?
I'm excited to see the Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers connection. I think these two guys have been dominant for a long time, and I think it's time for them to take it to the next level. They've been playing well. I'm excited to see what they do in the postseason.
With DraftKings, payday comes every day for players. So what are you waiting for? Go to the App Store and use the code SMOKE.
That's code SMOKE, and you can get a free shot at a $1 million top prize, only at DraftKings.
Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for more details. You came in and picked up where you left off, which was crazy to me after 6 weeks off and a broken thumb. Like you said, a third surgery on the same hand. Tell me what it was like being a younger player in the playoffs, and then your mentality as a 15-year vet or a 14-year vet and coming back and knowing exactly where you need to be and how you can affect the game in the most, because you put up solid numbers, but just your presence on the court allowed LeBron to kind of exhale a little bit, and you were able to run the show on both sides of the floor.
Well, I mean, like I said, that's, to sum it up, brother, that's just about trust. You know what I mean? Like, Brian was able to trust me, and I told him, you know what I mean? Like, I got you. You know what I mean? I damn sure don't want to let anybody down, myself down, but I'm not going to let anybody down. I'm going to make mistakes, but, if I make a mistake, I'm probably going to make up for it 2 times in the next 2 or 3 minutes. So that was just my mindset, and just having energy and want to become, the best player on the court. Even with him on the court, my mindset is to be the best player on the court at all times. And I was able to do that, like I said, with trust of my teammates and my coaching staff. So I have to give them credit. But just having a mindset, like I said, when I was 21 in the playoffs, going at it, I had 3 greats, a lot of other great teammates. But I had 3 greats behind me, and I knew they had my back from day one. So I did have to earn their respect, which, was obviously expected, which was not a problem. But having them behind me, understanding, like, they gave me leeway. They pumped the confidence in me. I saw those guys work at an early age, and it was only right that I follow suit. You know what I mean? Like I said, having that competitive drive, wanting to win, I was able to learn, some of the things I had and put it with theirs, and just pick each one of their brains. The P.J. Browns, Keon Dubins. Like, I had a lot of great vets, Sam Cassell, Tyronn Lue. So they were on me daily, and they helped me grow. And then fast forward 14 years later, I was able to just come back, with the grace of God. Like I said, I broke my hand, and then I was supposed to play in the Portland series. 30 minutes before tip-off, my back locked up. I'm out another week. So I missed that series completely. So I'm thinking, like, damn, I've been out for 7 months. I'm coming right back in the heat. So I had to bring in this understanding, like I said, make sure my body was right. I still could lift. Even though I broke my thumb, I was on it daily, lifting. I was doing yoga every other day, just trying to lock in and make sure my body was right coming back. So I don't have any lower extremity, mess up. So that was just my mindset. That's it.
I love hearing that. But take me back to 21-year-old Rondo being the floor general to win your first championship in Boston with, like you said, the likes of Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. You guys had a hell of a team. I think Tony Allen was on that team too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
TA, you guys had a lot of different personalities, but you were the one. You were the from the outside looking in, you were the pulse of the team, but you were the youngest at the same time. So what was it like navigating that team, and what did you learn from actual on the court experience, and then also having Doc next to you? Because I've personally, Doc would tell stories how you guys would butt heads sometimes because you see things one way, he sees things one way. So get into that shit for us.
So let's start with the Doc.
Okay.
Doc. Man, my first year, we lost 18 straight at one point. So I'm like, man, what the fuck, yo? Like, I can't get no burn. You know what I mean? I ain't even get me in the game. He's just, I don't know. I'm gonna get into a little bit. I can go crazy on it. We used to get into it, basically. So fast forward, the trade happened. The same year, 7 players go. KG, I heard KG said he wanted me to stay. So boom, we win a championship. But throughout that year, it was tough, yo. But Doc helped me get through it, obviously. Understanding, I think he played with 2 Hall of Famers at the time, and just how to navigate and keep those guys happy. I think I'm blessed and fortunate. Like I said, I played baseball, football, basketball, all 3 growing up. So I kind of had that leader mentality, leader mindset growing up as far as just being a believer, being a student of the game, whatever I wanted to accomplish. And that'll show those guys or earn their respect, back with my knowledge and my work ethic. You can't deny me, or you can't, not hand me the keys. And, giving them granted, they didn't, necessarily obviously want to give me the keys at first. I had to earn their respect. I did that throughout the season. They instilled trust in me. I communicated to my guys all the time on the court. You know what I mean? Like, I pride myself on having the most touches. There's a stat back in the day when Steve played, and I think one year he had beat me in the most touches with his teammates. You know what I mean? As far as like coming back, running back on defense, touch, or coming out of timeouts, touch. Like, that mindset, also helped me kind of earn their respect, and just the gathering that I could probably kind of bring teams together.
Bro, I don't mean to cut you off, but see, that's how you set them apart. Who thinks about stuff like that?
That's crazy,
bro?
Right? I love hearing this shit. I love it.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't even know that was a stat.
Yeah, it was a stat.